If you haven't heard the news today, former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe was assassinated. Now, I've seen a few videos on this app and some takes on Twitter that he essentially said things like rest in peace, he was a good guy, and even tweets from people like this saying that he was a champion of democracy and a champion for women's rights, which is just kind of wrong because he was a member of Nippon Kaigi. So Nippon Kaigi, if you don't know what that is an ultra-nationalistic far-right group that exists in Japan, and they have a few key tenets, right? Number one, that the Imperial Army should be lauded for its activities during World War II because it helped contribute to the development of the rest of Asia as well as liberate Asia from the West. Number two, the rape of Nanking, the massacre of China, never happened. And number three, the comfort woman issue is a non-issue or a fabrication. Shinzo Abe has in the past called other members of his government idiots for doing things like in 2010 when Naoto Kan, the former prime minister before Shinzo Abe, made a public apology on the 100-year annexation of Korea to the victims of Japanese war crimes. He called him an idiot. Following that, he mentioned that the Japanese comfort women issue, which is a Japanese euphemism for sex slaves, is not a political issue, one that the government should address because it was not a war crime. He also did some dumb things like this. So if you don't know what Unit 731 is, they were a Japanese medical group that ran experiments on prisoners of war. And in 2018, he launched a trade war with South Korea, claiming national security issues because the South Korean Supreme Court ruled that Japanese companies are responsible and liable to the victims of Japanese slavery. Now, all that being said, I don't believe he should have been assassinated. I don't believe he should have been shot. Part of it is because these kinds of acts of violence in Japan are probably going to get blamed on Japanese Koreans. There are quite a few Koreans that live in Japan, and they're going to be the target of hate. At the end of the day, I'm not going to lose sleep over fascists dying.